Hello everybody, I'm Rusty. I want to welcome you to Island Breeze Tropicals. So today we're going to be installing bromeliads on a tree. A small tree. So you know what? The sun is shining. The island breeze is blowing. It's time that you and I got going. Come on, let's have some fun and let's install some bromeliads on a tree. Okay guys, we're up here on the plant deck and we're going to have some fun today installing air plants on a tree. Yeah, I know, maybe I was kind of misleading, but this is kind of a tree. So what we're going to do today is I want to show you how to install your air plants, yep, they're bromeliads, on a piece of wood. Now you may not be able to find something like this. Now I made this years ago. This is made out of dimensional lumber and I sculpted it out. You can call it carving if you want. My background is as an arborist. I love trees and I love it when they're stylized like this. Now you can mount your bromeliads to any piece of wood as long as it's not pressure treated. But remember, if you're going to have it outside, even if it's just during the summer, if you don't live in a frost-free zone, you're going to want something that's going to be rot resistant. Now, I made this out of 2x6s and glued them together, and it is Atlantic white cedar. I believe it's really a Camas cyperus. And this is rot resistant. This has actually been outside for about 1.5 to 2 years, and of course it has not rotted. Now previously I had already mounted orchids on this and it just didn't work out. So today what we're going to do is mount some Tillandsias. So this installation is really simple, but we can't tie the Tillandsias. We can't tie our air plants to this because I don't want to drill any more holes in this tree. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to glue Tillandsias today. So today we're going to be using two different kinds of Tillandsias, and the first one that we're going to use is Tillandsia ionantha, and this is a rubra, so it will flush red. And it's a real teeny tiny thing, see it? Now we've had a couple of videos about Tillandsias. It's a very diverse genus and has a lot of species and cultivars in it. So perhaps you can see the silvery color. Those are trichomes, and that is what helps this plant to absorb water. And then the second one that we're going to be using is Tillandsia ionantha van Henningsii, and this, as you can see, is pupping. See? Yep, it's a bromeliad. Look at that. Look at the pups. You can also see the trichomes on it. And you can see these are really tiny. So, as you guys are aware, I generally don't make specific recommendations. I do want you to know that I am in no way affiliated with Goop. They are not a sponsor of mine. They don't even know that this channel exists, but I got to tell you that this is a really good adhesive to use on this kind of project. And you want to get a couple specific kinds because Goop is different according to the manufacturer. I have household Goop here, and I also have used plumber's Goop. Once this stuff dries, it is absolutely water proof, and it holds for an awfully long time, and it also gives with temperatures, so it's really good. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is arranging first, and what I want to do is I want to alternate the van Henningsii with the ionantha. Now remember that these are bromeliads and they do pup. I'm going to show you this, if you can see the pups on here. And what I'm hoping is that once these attach to the wood and start to grow, then they will fill out the foliage of this tree that I have sculpted out, and hopefully I'll be able to show you in 6 or 8 months what that looks like once they start to colonize. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to have to alternate some of the Tillandsias so that they form an kind of like an interlocking kind of foliage, and they're all going to be different when they flush. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to reach around and do it that way. So what we're going to do is I am going to take and try and arrange these in such a way that they are staggered, because we want this to become the foliage on this tree. And some are bigger than others. I've had these for a while. And we're going to put another one right here, and one right there. And as you can see, what I'm trying to do is stagger these so that they will eventually meet and unfortunately they look pretty close to one another, don't they? But that's okay. This is going to be fun. So as you can see, I'm staggering these. And looks like we're going to have more than enough to fill this up. And we're going to do it just like this. It looks like we have some space left, so I'm going to put one right over here. That's out of frame, you don't see it. And I got one left. Where will that go? I don't know. How about we put it right over here? Okay, so you can see that I have these arranged. See if I can get this a little bit more square in the frame. I have these arranged so that they're a little staggered. And now what I want to do is I want to glue them. Okay, so there's a trick to this, and I'm going to show you what that is. Let me see if I can find one, yeah, that has roots. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, so as you can see, this has roots on it. Okay, what we do is we're going to take and put glue up here on the foliage. Sorry guys. So you can see there's glue up on the foliage, but not on the roots. Now you really should let Goop set up a little bit, but I'm not going to today. And then all you do is that you place it down on the wood. So we're going to do the same thing to this one. Sometimes it helps with your Tillandsias to see how they like to sit. And let me show you another trick. And sometimes you need to clip just a couple of the lower leaves like I just did. Okay, so I want to show you something here, and let me see if I can get this in frame. It's kind of hard to see, but this Tillandsia has some pups on it. So we don't want to glue the pup on the inside of the wood. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a place to glue it, and this looks like the spot right there. See where the roots are coming out right there? And we're going to glue it right here, and that's a flat spot. And what we're going to want to do is clip some of these leaves away here, so we have a flat spot in here to put our adhesive. And then the pup will grow outward. It'll grow out like this. So you can see, we're not going to glue it here. We're going to glue it right there. Now, I don't know if this one's any easier to see. As you can see, right here, there's a pup. And then if we flip it around, you can see there's that flat spot in the back. And if I can reach all the way over here and get my shears, we're just going to cut a spot right there to make it flat enough so that we can glue it. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take and put a little dab of glue right there on the flat spot so that the roots are still outside of the glue, and then we're going to put it on the tree. We're going to do one more, and I'm going to show you now. If you can see this one, you can see that it's fairly flat, and that helps a lot. And then we're just going to be putting a little dab of this silicone adhesive, and we're going to be setting that right like this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these guys up. I'm going to do one more. Hopefully I'll have this in frame. Sometimes they want to kick around a little bit. Okay, so you can see right here, the roots are kind of hard to see. They're a little small. But you can see we've got a flat spot on the foliage right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put some goop on there, some glue. Just like that. Not a whole lot. See, it's just a little dab. And we're just going to put it down right like that. So I'm going to continue to glue these guys. I'm not going to bore you with that. Again, remember that if you find a piece of art or sculpture, it needs to be raw wood like this tree. This has not been treated with anything. There is no oil on it, but gluing these on here will do the job that we want it to do. So I have a hack for you. Sometimes these silicone adhesives can harden inside the tube once you open them. What I do is I put mine in the refrigerator in a plastic bag, not in the freezer, but in the fridge, and it just stays indefinitely pliable. Okay, so I'm going to glue some more of these guys, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, as you can see, the Tillandsias have been installed on this tree. The glue is not particularly dry yet, so I'm going to set it down. But basically, this is how it's done. It's easy to do. Use the right kind of silicone adhesive, and I'll tell you what, they will attach, and eventually they will start to colonize whatever you put them on. Well, okay guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed learning how to install Tillandsias using silicone glue. It's really, really easy. The beauty of Tillandsias, as you've heard me say it before, is that they're so small that they're amenable to almost anything that you want to attach them to. So no matter where you are, I hope your sun is shining. I hope you have an island breeze blowing. I know that you need to keep growing and have lots of fun. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.